I'm going to throw it into a plastic cup about 15 feet away. Who's going to take that bet with me? Raise your hands if you'll bet with me on that. Only? Okay. Let's change the odds, right? So the people who had their hands up. Let's say if I make it, you give me $10, and if I miss it, I'll give you that $1. Hands still up? Okay. Well, that makes sense. Let's change the odds again. Let's make it so if I make it, you give me $49, and if I miss it, I give you $1. Whose hands are still up? Alright, cool. So all your hands are down now. So at least your gut is working. But what is your gut actually telling you? It's actually saying something about the odds of those events happening. So say we have 1-to-1, which is what I started out with. That means you're going to make the shot 1 out of 2 times. Implicit probability 50%. Okay? That's pretty high for making this shot in that bag. I missed. 49-to-1 means I'll make it 1 in 50 times. Implied probability 2%. Right? And a couple of you guys had your hands up still. Okay? Very interesting. And I didn't get up to this, but 499-to-1 means I would need to make it only once in 500 times in order for that odd to be right. Okay, so that's what your gut was telling you, and you knew that that was impossible, and I was going to make it more than once out of 500 times, and that's why your hands were down. All right, cool. Your gut is working. That's what the odds are actually saying. Now, this was actually done at University of Chicago. Some kid threw a ping pong ball into a cup and ended up making $1,000 that night. And the line he took was 1 to 49. But there was a reason why I took 1 to 49, because he believed he had edge. What is edge? Edge essentially is when the real probability of event actually happening is larger than the implied probability. So let's look at what we're dealing with. The implied was that 2% of the time he was going to make it. That's what it means when you have a 49-to-1 odds line. He thought, you know, oh damn, I'm so much better than this, I can make it 10% of the time. Real, larger than implied. 10% is larger than 2%. To see why this actually matters, let's look at the betting chart. 10% of the time he's going to make it, 90% of the time he's going to miss it. When he makes it, he makes a profit of 49. When he misses it, he loses $1. If you would take the theoretical weighted average, you'll realize that, after some fancy calculation, not really, he's actually expected to make $40 per turn. $40 per turn. Alright, so if I had told you that for the guys who still had their hands up at that time, that you were expected to lose $40 per turn, you'd probably call me crazy, right? So that's why you would bet when you have edge. But when you have edge, there's still some risk. That's okay, right? With risk, there's always risk management. The more edge you have, the higher your theoretical payout. The higher your theoretical payout, you can take bigger bets, but then you're increasing your variance. So this kid who did those throws, he knew that. So what he did was, with the bettor, he guaranteed, well, he made an agreement with the guy so that he could at least have 50 throws. That way he could lower the variance of his throws and play out his EV. Okay, cool. So is there a risk in every situation? No. There are situations where there are no risks. And that's when you can play arbitrage. And that's when you're betting on both outcomes if they're mispriced. What happens if they're mispriced essentially means that the sum of the implied probability is less than 100%. So let me give you a quick example. The 49-to-1, we had an implied probability of 2% making, so we've seen that a couple times now. But if you look at the 1 to 10, that also means there's a 90% probability that he's going to miss. That's what's implied. Now if you realize those two numbers, if you sum it up, is less than 100. So if we bet $2 on the 2% to make, and we bet $90 on the miss, 2 plus 90 is 92, that's less than 100. Where's the 8% extra percentage go, right? That's free money. To see how this actually works, check out this chart. So just to recap, our first bet, we bet $2 that we would make it. And our second bet, at the same time, so we bet $90 we'd miss it. So if we do make it, 2 times 49 payout, we earn a profit of $98. And the second bet we lose, so we lose that 90, we get a profit of $8. If the outcome of that one throw was actually a miss, shit. This showing? Yeah. On the first bet we lose $2, but on the second bet we make $10, right? So if you follow that chart, make or miss, you get a profit of $8. Pretty cool. So essentially that's how you win your bets. You either find your edge in a bet or you find the mispricing. How do you determine your edge? That's where your real edge lies, and that's where my secret remains. Thank you.